Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, dignitaries on the dais, and participants in this amazing event, the Telangana Rising Summit. I'm delighted and honored to be here in this amazing venue, which is going to be the Bharat Future City. I can't wait to see. I hope I'll be alive to see that vision. It promises to be spectacular. I'm also honored to be part of the CM's Council and hope to help assist in the transformation of the Telangana economy. As Karthik said, it's clear that India's future resides more and more in the states because it's the states that control the levers that are going to determine the fate of India's 1.4 billion citizens. So I've just written a book with Devesh Kapoor, and I want to highlight one striking statistic that we found in that book. We all say, why can't India be as dynamic and grow as rapidly as China? But it turns out that 1/3 of India has grown as fast as China and for as long. Just think about that. So we don't have to look elsewhere. We just have to look within. And one of those states happens to be Telangana. If that is the case, the numbers that Dr. Subbarao put out about what the GDP aspiration you have going forward, it doesn't seem that difficult because it seems like you already accomplished that in the last three decades. So it's just a matter of, replicating that over time. Now, Telangana, of course, is on the not just the Indian map but the global map as the cradle of India's IT revolution. But that's the past. I think when you look at the Telangana vision document under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister, it is embarking on the next structural transformation. How do you go from this very dynamic IT-based economy to something that both harnesses the power of the new technologies without neglecting the daily lives of all the citizens in the state? So it's this combination of technology, which is people-centered, human-centered, improving human livelihoods. I think that's at the core of this vision document, which I would commend to everyone going forward. I have, said very often that the most important dynamic in India that's going to propel India going forward is competitive federalism, competition between the states, and especially if every state is competing, as the Honorable Chief Minister has said, not just with other Indian states, but internationally as well, this competition dynamic is going to be very, very important. So Telangana is going to be not just a magnet that attracts investment, it's also going to be a model for everyone else, other states, to kind of emulate. So competitive federalism with Telangana in the lead is one desirable dynamic. But I think the other dynamic that is going to be very important in India is not just competitive federalism, but competitive sub-federalism. That not just states competing with each other, but cities competing with each other. And in this regard, I think Hyderabad is turning out to be another model and a magnet. For example, NCR, with all its air quality problems, is forcing exit to other parts of the world. Bengaluru, the IT capital, with its congestion and urban challenges, is again forcing investors to look away, and that's the sense in which Hyderabad can be a magnet and a model going forward. So Telangana and Hyderabad can be the cradles of competitive federalism and competitive sub-federalism. Having said all this, I also want to be a little bit more realistic and offer some gentle advice. I think investor summits are like elections in a democracy. Heady, wonderful, everyone engaged, etc., etc. But we know in a country like India and in democracies like India, all the accountability, the hard work, and the implementation is done between elections, is done between investor summits. So while it's very impressive that you have 5 lakh crores in commitments already, the proof of the pudding is going to be 5 years from now, how much of those 5 lakh crores actually translated into real investment. So that's the metric by which we must judge Telangana's performance going forward. And in this regard, some of Dr. Subbarao's comments about, the ease of doing business, rule of law, creating a level playing field for all investors, not just some investors, big investors, is going to be very, very important. Now, I want to just make one last point in this. It's actually a series of points. When I used to be chief economic advisor, I used to have this ongoing debate with my boss, the late wonderful Arun Jaitley. He used to tell me, Arvind, politics is the art of the possible. And I would say, no, no, Minister, politics is the art of expanding the possibilities of the possible. That's what I think good politics is. Now, let me strike a slightly sobering note. If you look around in the last 5 years, there is a disenchantment with Indian politics, or at least some parts of it, in the following sense. That is that you see more and more this rabidi culture that's crept in, and cash transfers, etc., have taken powerful hold on the political imagination. Now, I'm not against cash transfers, I'm not against welfareism, I think they're all very important. But I think there is a sense in which this disenchantment has happened because citizens want cash transfers in part because they feel they're not going to get much else from the state. So they said, let's get the cash transfers now because we don't know what governments will deliver later on. But there's a flip side to that. Governments themselves do more and more welfareism, almost because they have accepted that they will not be able to deliver all the other things that matter more. So we are in this slightly unholy alliance between citizens and the state, where it's all about cash transfers, to the neglect possibly of the other things that matter and that are contained in the vision statement that you have outlined. So I think what India needs is, as someone rightly said, and what is exciting about this summit and your leadership, is the new Telangana model. What is the new Telangana model? I think it's very important to remember that the Telangana model has to have as its core, which it does, the retaining of the idea of India as a pluralist, inclusive, non-majoritarian, non-exclusionary place. That idea of India cannot be abandoned, cannot be abdicated. That is the foundation, or should be the foundation, of the Telangana model. But then over and above that, what has to happen is the kind of political imagination that's been displayed in the Telangana Vision document, and converting that political imagination into a new reality is what has to be the Telangana model. And really, we've just written a book. In some ways, what we lament in the book is that the Indian political imagination has become stunted and stale. And what is really exciting about this, Honorable Minister, to be honest with you, and what makes me excited about working with Telangana, is this new political imagination which retains the idea of India, pluralist, non-majoritarian, inclusive, everyone, plus this new imagination where you combine technology and harness it for the good of the people. So good economics should be good politics, good social policy should be good politics. And that hopefully will be the new Telangana model.